All right, so I told this guy I would answer his question here, making a video. Every free will worshiper in the world eventually brings up this verse, Jeremiah 32:35, or it's also in Jeremiah 19. When they want to, they don't like the fact that you tell them there's no free will. God determines everything, and this is the verse they bring up, Jeremiah 19 or Jeremiah 32:35. And man, it's really sad because all it means is either they don't go to church, or their pastor isn't teaching them the Bible. They don't know the Old Testament. They don't know why God is saying this. They just think it's a random verse where God is saying he didn't know what they were going to do. Well, I'll show you. It's real simple. So here's the verse. And they built, this is Israel, they built high places to Baal. What they were doing is sacrificing their firstborn. What Israel would do is what they would go down to Tophet, which was down in southeast. It was along the Hinnom Valley, which was south of Jerusalem, and they would go down and sacrifice their firstborn to Baal because they got mixed up in the Baal worship. And then they would come back, and then they would sacrifice to God in the temple. And they thought they were doing a good thing. They didn't think, well, I'm just going to go kill my baby because I don't like my baby. They thought that God had told them to do this. This is 500 years after Exodus, what God told them in Exodus, which I'm going to show you in a second. And that's why they were doing this. So they thought they were doing a good thing. They thought they were obeying God. So they were burning their babies in the fire. And God says, which I commanded them not. Move this down. Commanded them not. Neither came it to my mind. Okay, so then they read this verse and they think, well, God didn't know they were going to do that. But no, that's not what it's saying. What God is referring to is the law, what he told them to do with their firstborn. Back in Exodus and Leviticus, there's several places. I'm just going to show you one. So God is saying, what I told you back in the law, in the desert, in Leviticus, Exodus, is not what you're doing. It did not come to my mind even to tell you to do that. It's not what came to his mind to tell you to burn your baby in the fire with Tophet, at Tophet. That's what didn't come to his mind, because it didn't. He didn't tell them to do that. They're doing something he didn't tell them to do. Okay, and this is just one section of Leviticus, I think Exodus 22. Exodus 22, chapter 22, 29. There's multiple places in the Bible. I'm just showing you one. What I'm doing is showing you what God told them and what he did not told them. This is so Jeremiah 19, when he says it didn't come to my mind, or Jeremiah 35, it's referring back to this. The free will worshipers don't know this. Their pastors don't know the Bible. They're not teaching them. So back in here he says, thou shalt not, and this is just one verse. They shall not delay to offer the first of the ripe fruits, the first of the liquors, what comes from the fruit. The firstborn of thy sons thou shalt give unto me. And this is what Israel is thinking they're doing. They're mixing. What it is Christmas. Yes, Christmas. Christmas mixes Christ with the pagan rituals, the tree and the Santa Claus, right? And people think they're doing a good thing. This is Christmas. That's what this is. Well, they were mixing Baal and what God told them. They thought they were doing a good thing. It's Christmas. That's what it is. So Mr. Matt, 655:8. That's the answer. That's the explanation. That's why God said that. So when it says, though I never commanded, nor did it enter my mind that they should do such a thing. So when God said to give your firstborn, it didn't enter his mind that they should do what they're doing. When he told them to give their firstborn, that they should do it. Not that they would do it. Not it didn't enter his mind that they would do it ever. God knew they were going to do it. He determined they would do it. He even gave in detail that they were going to do it back in Deuteronomy. So it's not like he didn't know, or that they have a free will, because he determined it all. I determined the end from the beginning. From the beginning, I declare the end. Declare is how God determines. He speaks. And of course, he told them all what they were going to do back in the end of Deuteronomy. He just spelled it all out, what was going to happen. So it's not saying it didn't enter my mind that they were going to do it. It didn't enter his mind that they should do that when he told them to sacrifice their firstborn. You understand, Mr. Matt? There's your explanation.